Welcome back, students. I was doing the second chapter of your English grammar book. This is the third part. So in the earlier parts I have told you about what is a noun, and I have come up to the types of noun. We have discussed about common noun, proper noun, compound noun. Then I have talked about what are countable nouns, uncountable nouns, and the difference between the two. I have also discussed about collective nouns. Now let me talk about what is a concrete noun. So concrete nouns are nouns which refer to people and things that exists physically and at least one of the senses can detect. One of the senses means you can touch it, feel it, smell it, hear it, or taste it. So that is your concrete noun. It is the opposite of abstract noun. I'll tell you what is an abstract noun, but first you need to know what is a concrete noun. So anything that you can touch or use is a touch or see is a concrete noun. Examples can be caterpillar. So you can see a caterpillar. Then you have, suppose, papaya. So you can taste it. Moon, you can see it. Coin, you can touch it. Shop, wear it. Bat, water. So all this is your concrete noun. Anything which you can see and taste, see and touch, smell. All this is your concrete noun. So table, house, woman, anything which you can see and touch, smell, all this is your concrete noun. Then comes abstract noun. So abstract noun denotes the name of quality of a person or anything. Abstract nouns, like here you can see and touch, but here you cannot see and touch. You can only feel it. Okay, abstract nouns are nouns that have a physical existence and are not concrete. They refer to ideas, emotions, or concepts that we cannot see, touch, hear, smell, or taste. Here we were able to do it, okay, and here we are not able to see, touch, hear, or smell and taste, but we can feel it. All abstract nouns are uncountable because we cannot count it. Love cannot be counted. Time cannot be counted. Happiness, I told you, you cannot count it. So, and more examples were here, like abstract ideas here, so abstract nouns. Substance, paper and all, okay, liquids, so you cannot count it. So this is your abstract noun. Then comes your gerunds. So gerunds, we often tell it's the ing form of the verb, or verbal noun also it is called. A gerund is also called a verbal noun and is formed from a verb. By verb, because here you see the example running. So run is your verb and then ing is added. So this is the verb plus ing form. Or here running, if you see, use it in a sentence, running is good for you. So here running is used as a noun because we are talking about running. Here you is not the subject, here running is the subject. So here it is used as a noun. A verb with an ing form is when it is used as a noun, it is called verbal noun, and you can also call it as the gerunds. Since all gerunds end in ing, they are sometimes confused with present participle form of the verb. Here running looks like a verb because of its ing ending, but it is a noun, gerund, because we are talking about the concept of running. We are talking about a thing. Writing, again write plus ing, is my hobby. So thinking makes me sleep. An idea, we were talking about an idea about something, though it is verb plus ing, which is, this is a gerund because we are talking about an idea, a concept. Writing and thinking here are gerunds. This ends the first chapter explanation, but let me tell you there are two other kinds also which you have done in your previous class, that is your possessive nouns. The possessive, just a recapitulation for you. Possessive nouns, I have told you, were a form of noun that expresses the ownership of or belongingness. Possess, the word comes from possess, possessive noun. So it also expresses relationship, like a family relationship. It can be where somebody stays, works, or spends time. Like, this is Leena's bike. So whose bike? Leena's. So then it becomes possessive. This is Priya's mother. Whose mother? Priya's, apostrophe S. So that is possessive noun. And then you have also learnt in your in your standard 6 about material nouns, if you remember. And these nouns, they used to denote the name of a matter or substance as a whole. It is called a material noun. So like gold is precious. So gold is what? A material, a substance. Milk is nutritious. Milk is what? A liquid. And honey is sweet. So all this is what? Substance. Iron is very useful metal, again a substance. So it is called material. So material and possessive has not been given in your book, but you have done it in your standard 6. So please go through the chapter carefully, girls. Try to understand it. Go through the videos again and again, and I will send you a few the exercises in a day or two. Thank you.